Okay, y'all, so we are doing a review on the After movie series on Netflix. Um, just did the first one. We are back with the second movie review. So, second movie in the series is called After We Collided. At the beginning of the movie, it is Hardin, and he's talking, kind of giving us a summary of what has happened in the last movie and where they are now. Apparently, they're not speaking to each other. They've broken up. She didn't forgive him, for the dare that was brought upon. Even though, he's apologized a million times, he's trying to get a hold of her. She's kind of like ignoring him. We see her at the beginning, and she's taking Ubers and buses and stuff, and she has started her internship with Christian Vance and his publishing company because she had switched her major to English, and so she is doing this internship to kind of help her out with her career. And we end up meeting Cole Sprouse. Um, what is his name in the movie? Trevor. His name is Trevor in the movie. He actually knows Hardin from back in the day. Um, Also, Hardin did his internship there the prior year. So they know each other. And then they go up to the office. They have like a little exchange of words in the elevator, or whatever. They go up to the office where Kimberly meets them, and Kimberly is the one who's really running stuff, right? Kimberly is also Caroline from the Vampire Diaries, so I was kind of fangirling a little bit because I love the Vampire Diaries. Anyway, she looks great. She looks great in this movie. She still looks great. Hasn't aged at all. Anyways, so just to kind of shorten things up as far as relationships, Kimberly is dating Christian Vance, and he has a son. Um, and yeah, so that's that, because towards the end of the movie they get engaged, and it's like a really cute moment. Anyway, um, so she spends her first day at work working all night long. All night long, Christian Vance is. We see him the next morning going through the manuscripts that she was supposed to read and review. He wakes her up, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's 9:35. Am I fired?" And he's just like, "Come with me. Come, dear." They hop in this van with Kimberly and Treva, and they go to like a hotel or something. Oh yeah, because they're supposed to be having a meeting with this guy Jang, and he is thinking about investing in their company, which is worth or his Jang's company is worth like $800 million or something, and so he's gonna invest part of that money into his publishing business so their company can really take off. And so, ooh, I look a mess. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm also very sick, so anyway, so they are supposed to be going out that night to this club that's owned by Jang. And so Kimberly, she takes Tessa shopping, right? Buys her this really like shiny gold dress and some gold heels, shoes, whatever. She comes down the stairs before they're going out that night, and Cole Sprouse just cannot believe how pretty she is. And you know what? He got very handsome. He looks very handsome in this movie. So, anyways, um, I think from there on, he like really had a crush on her. He really wanted to like, make something happen. And she just can't get over Hardin. You know how breakups are when you really think you found the one. So, anyways, they go out to the club. Uh, Tessa and Trevor are just sitting there and they're not really having a good time. This Jang dude comes over, brings us ginormous sex on the beach drink, and gives them like 3 straws. And so they're drinking and they're drinking this whole thing. Like, thing is like huge, right? Tessa gets drunk, extremely drunk, for the first time. And she starts dancing on the dance floor, just vibing. She's vibing out, jamming out. Then she like starts kissing some random guy on the floor, but she, in her mind, it's Hardin. But like when she comes back to reality, it's just some random guy, and she's like, "Let me get out of here." So she doesn't get out of there. She actually goes up top, of the club. I don't know what that. She went up some stairs. I don't fucking know. It's like a balcony. Um, Calls Hardin extremely drunk, and he had just for the first time went out himself to one of the frat parties. So of course the whole gang's there, right? And he goes outside to take the phone call, and he's like, "Where are you at? You're drunk, you're wasted. Where are you at?" And she's all like, "I'm where you're not." He's like, "I have your location." And so he gets concerned, I guess, tracks her location, but she goes back to her hotel room actually with Trevor, because he's like, "Okay, let's get you out of here because you seem very drunk," right? So they're just sitting there talking, like they're talking, they're laughing. She accidentally spills wine all over his clothes. So of course, in drunk Tessa manner, she tells him to take off his shirt and his pants so she can rinse them with cold water so it won't stain. And of course, perfect moment for Hardin to show up, right? So he shows up to the hotel room and he's all like, "Trevor, you're sleeping with Trevor?" And she's like, "No, I'm not fucking sleeping with him. The hell?" And so he leaves, grabs his clothes, he leaves. And so Hardin's sitting there, and she is very drunk talking to him. She basically climbs on him and is like, "Hey, either you fuck me or you leave." And so another passionate moment. And when they wake up, it looks like they had sex all over that place. All over. It's trashed in there. Yes, tables are turned over and couches and whatever, but they were in the bed. I don't know. So they wake up and Kimberly calls her and she says, "Hey, um, be ready in 5 minutes. We'll be downstairs." So anyway, yeah, she puts on some clothes, goes downstairs, and so they head off. And now Hardin is kind of at this point of like, "Well, what was this?" And she's like, "Look, I was drunk. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It's very familiar with you," type of shit, you know. Anyways, so then we go to where, hold on, I gotta remember. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay, I had to go back in and kind of fast forward through the movie so I could remember what happened. I'm so sorry. Okay, so she still talks to Landon, so they kind of they hang out real quick, but it's not much. But Hardin actually goes to Landon because he's supposed to be going to Landon anyway. Um, Hardin's supposed to be going back to London to spend the winter break with his mom, right? So Tessa finds this as an opportunity to go and get the rest of her stuff from their place, right? So she goes there. Apparently, it's her birthday, and Christmas isn't for like 2 more weeks. But it's her birthday. She finds this present for herself on the bed, and it's from Hardin. It's like a cute little note and a Kindle, and he's like, so you can have all your books in the same place, and it's very sweet, to be honest. Then she's like, she's cleaned up, and she's like folding up some of her laundry. She's getting ready to get out of there. Hardin walks in with his mom. uh Seems he couldn't go to London because he couldn't just leave her there. He couldn't face that. Especially after he went to Landon for advice, and like I said, they don't get along. So he goes because he's like, look, I know you're friends with her, and I really fucked up, and I just don't know how to fix it, and I really want to fix it. And he's like, do you love her for real? And he's like, of course I do. What, I've never felt like this about anybody before. So anyways, so now they're there. He has not told his mom that they broke up, but didn't tell her about this dare. Like nothing. He's still extremely upset with Molly about this whole thing. Um, so anyway, excuse me. His mom is just elated to see her. She's like, oh my God, you're so pretty. I just can't believe it, this and that. And so she convinces her to not go home as she was supposed to do that day. And she was going to go spend break with her mom back home. So she says, fine, I'll just leave in the morning. It's cool. So they have a great day. They really do. They get to know each other. She kind of learns a little more about Hardin, and this is when she finds out that Hardin has never told anybody about the tragedy that he witnessed at 8, with his mom being assaulted because of his dad. His dad's actions. So she keeps telling Tessa, like, hey, I'm really glad to see him like this. He's very happy, and like I haven't seen him happy in a long time. And this is also where she finds out, hey, he's been having nightmares since he was 8, since the whole thing happened. And he said that ever since he's been around you, there haven't been any nightmares. So, because of course she didn't know about the nightmares because he didn't have them with her. That night that she decides to stay, they do sleep in the same bed, and of course they end up having sex. But he wakes up in the middle of the night with a nightmare about that night, and so she calms him down, calms him back to bed, and they talk about it, her and Hardin's mom or whatever. So anyways, then she leaves the next day. And okay, so she leaves, and then she's getting ready to leave to go spend time with her mom. When she gets there, Noah shows up. She had already like apologized about the way they broke up. She did it again. she's like, hey, I'm really sorry, I never meant to hurt you, this and that. And he was like, it's cool, like, your mom told me you were coming into town and she wasn't gonna be back yet, so here I am. um then he kind of spills the beans about her dad reaching out, because Tessa and Hardin kind of bonded over the fact that their dads both kind of left them at an early age. So Tessa's dad hasn't been in the picture for a long time. Hardin's dad wasn't really in the picture for a long time until like now. Also, what bothered me was that in the first movie, Landon's mom is like, she looks like a white lady, and I don't, or like a mixed, and so I'm like, that's kind of odd, because her name's Karen, and so she looks like she's white. I don't know. I just, or mixed, whatever. But Hardin's dad was like, I don't know what the actor's name is, but completely different characters in the second movie, which is hilarious. In the second movie, we get Karen as being like a full-on black woman, right? And I've seen her in something else, so I can't remember her name. But now his dad is a completely different person, and his dad is actually the actor who played Jess Mariano's dad in freaking Gilmore Girls. At least that's who he looks like. I'm pretty sure though. So that's funny. And also because Jess's dad was never there growing up. So anyways, I thought that was hilarious. Anyways, while we're here, so she talks to her mom on the phone off of Noah's phone, and basically her mom is kind of like trying to explain to her what happened. Well, your dad reached out, but I didn't tell you. I'm sorry, whatever. She gets extremely mad, and so they get into an argument over the phone, and she goes, I knew coming here was a mistake, like I'm just gonna go back, fuck it, because you and Noah are like trying to control my fucking life, and I just want to live my life. So she hops in the car, goes right back to Hardin, I guess tells him whatever had went on, and then he kind of wants to make her day better. And so he says, look, I know your birthday's over, but I didn't get to give you a real gift. So your real gift, because I wasn't there when you opened it, is going to be Tessa's perfect day. Like whatever you want to do today. So they go into like, a couple scenes where like they go ice skating, and then they go to like yoga. They leave yoga because they're so turned on by each other, and they have like a steamy shower scene until Kimberly calls, and Kimberly has to go do something important, but she has her stepson with her, right? And so she asks if Tessa and Hardin can babysit him while she's gone. So they agree, and they go ahead and babysit him for the day. He proves to be a little difficult, but after that, they go to Tessa's office, and he gives her this, is a bracelet or necklace, one of the two, and it's very beautiful. It comes with his little quote that he keeps saying, which I'm using that from now on. It's a good quote. Whatever our souls are made of, yours and mine are the same. Amazing. I'm like gonna include that in my wedding vows or something. That's just like the most poetic, like beautiful thing to say to someone. And so on her like little charms that she has, I'm guessing it's a bracelet then if there are little charms on it. There's like a music note because he loves music, and then there's like a book. Then there's like an infinity sign. And I'm just like that's just so cute. Just so cute. Um and I believe this is so they have another little steamy sex scene. They're having a lot of sex. Um, and she's always wearing Victoria's Secret panties. Good for her. She probably got that on a sale or something. I love when they have those 7 for 35 or 28. It's a good fucking deal. They're expensive. Anyways, so they both kind of finally say I love you. I think this is kind of their like agreement, because she basically asks like, well, what do you want for Christmas? And he's kind of like, yeah, I want another chance. And so then they all get invited, including his mother, to this, oh, what do you want to call it, like reception or what have you. They get invited to this wedding reception. Hardin causes a scene, of course. So, oh, it's not the reception. That was the last movie. They're at a Christmas party. Uh, anyway, he causes a scene. His mom gets mad at him. She's like, "You're gonna take him. You're gonna take her down with you if you keep doing the same shit." So she leaves. She finally goes back to London. He basically gets drunk, and like when they get back to the place, he like breaks a lamp or whatever, and he's like in a rage all night, pretty much, just and she just kind of leaves him alone and lets him listen to music, whatever. Um, so she gets up and she leaves to go back to the office, to go back to work. She has a talk with Trevor, and he's just kind of like trying to warn her, like, hey, this isn't going to turn out well between you guys. So uh, then they reach out. They don't fucking reach out. So that now it's New Year's, right? And so Hardin gets invited by the gang to go to the frat party for New Year's. And so Tessa says, "Hey, I'm gonna go with you. Like those girls don't fucking scare me. Like fuck them, you know." Um, and so they end up going, and he runs into this girl that he used to talk to, who apparently he hurt before, and so he is gone with her for quite a while. And we're all thinking like, what is he doing with her? Um, well, come to find out, well, Tessa ends up getting real drunk. And one of my favorite part of this movie is that they're all sitting there again with Molly's bitch ass, and and so her and Tessa start going back and forth on this truth or dare, bro. And then finally Tessa like jumps her and like starts beating her ass, gives her like a bloody nose, and so Hardin pulls her off, and then they go upstairs and they spend basically the countdown having sex. So then afterwards, um they run well, he runs into the girl again, and he's just like, hey, thanks for letting me do that, like get that off my chest or whatever. And she's like, it's cool. And then she says something stupid, talking about don't worry, I never kiss and tell. And so she hears that coming down the steps, and she's like, what the fuck does that mean? like like you just kissed her, like that's why you were gone with her the whole fucking night, bro? Like, and he was like, I was trying to make her forgive me. Like, I'm trying to be a better person for you. I didn't kiss her. I apologized to her because I'm trying to make amends because, like, I'm on my 12 steps because he knew he had an issue with alcohol. So he started trying to, like, self rehab. The hell was that? He started to self rehab, and so he's going through his 12 steps, and part of the 12 steps means that you have to make amends with everybody that you feel like you've wronged or whatever. She doesn't even hear the explanation. She goes outside and instantly kisses somebody in front of his face just to kind of make him mad because she thinks that he kissed the other girl. Well, anyways, he explains it to her. um and also he had also seen a message from Trevor on the phone the night before all of that went down, right? um which is why he walked out in the first place and why she ended up finding him on the stairs with the girl, because um it basically says, hey, can't wait to spend time with you in Seattle. So anyway, um so then Tessa wakes up in their place. He's not there because he fell asleep at the party outside on a couch. She's looking around for him. He finally, like, gets her location or whatever because his phone's charged. um she's looking around for him. She ends up going and getting into a fucking car accident, bro. And so they yeah, she gets into this car accident, and so finally she is getting out of the hospital. Trevor answers her phone. He's like, hey, stay the fuck away from her, bro. Like, you know what I mean? um he finds all of this out. He says, fine, I'm gonna leave her alone, whatever. So they kind of, like, are on a break. He goes back to London for a while, and um apparently his mom is friends with Christian Vance, right? And so she tells Hardin, hey, he's having a party tonight, and you need to go get your girl, bro. Like, fight for her. And so at this party, I think, is when Trevor was gonna try and make his advances towards her. But Hardin shows up. So when he shows up, they kind of ride off together, and they're kind of, like, okay, let's give it another shot. But that night they end up running into this guy who's, like, who we've seen before. And he looks to be homeless, but he's looked before, like, he's been close by to Hardin, and he's kind of just told him, hey, piss off, dude, piss off. um but yeah, so turns out this homeless dude is Tessa's dad, and that's how the movie ends. So I will be coming back with the other two movie reviews. Is it two or three? It's like two or three movie reviews, and so we'll see what happens with Tessa and Hardin on the next. It is 5 movies on the next few movies. The next one is called After We Fell, and I will be back with that video whenever I have time to watch it. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.